We have a visitor for chapter 18, a boy and a dinosaur. They stayed perfectly still, staring at each other, William and the Christmasaurus, a boy and a dinosaur, face to face for the first time in history. Neither of them knew what to do or say. Then suddenly William let out a frightened "Ah!" and the Christmasaurus released a scared "Roar!" They both sat roaring and screaming at each other for what felt like the longest time, until eventually they both ran out of breath and stopped. They searched each other's faces, and although neither of them knew what they were searching for, they found that they were both just as frightened as each other, which suddenly made them not scared of each other at all. It's funny how things work like that. "William, what's all that noise?" croaked a sleepy Mr. Trundle from upstairs. William looked into the dinosaur's big, frightened blue eyes. "Nothing, Dad, just a bad dream," William replied in his best attempt at sounding casual. There was a pause that seemed to last forever. "Oh. Okay," Mr. Trundle yawned. "Well, get some sleep, or Santa won't come." The word yawn makes me yawn, sorry. And with that, William heard his dad's bedroom door close. "Hello?" William said quietly as he wheeled himself slowly into the living room over the piles of festive debris that now decorated the floor. He rolled closer to the fireplace and he couldn't believe his eyes. There, right in front of him, was an actual, living, breathing dinosaur. How was that possible? Not only that, he was the most awesome-looking dinosaur William had ever seen. He had smooth, icy scales and big blue eyes like a wintry lion, but he was currently tangled from head to tail in ribbon and wrapping paper, tinsel and fairy lights. The dinosaur was decorated like a Christmas tree. As William got closer, he saw that there was a tag very loosely stuck to the dinosaur's back. It said, "For William, from Santa." "No way," William whispered. "I never in my wildest dreams thought that Santa would bring me a real dinosaur." Suddenly, he found the courage to reach out his hand to stroke the dinosaur. But just as his hand got to a millimetre away from the dinosaur's long, smooth nose, the creature turned to look at something through the window. William followed his gaze. Something small and red was zooming across the sky. The Christmasaurus burst into a run once again, this time heading out of the living room towards the front door. He scrambled and skidded on all the decorations and bits of plastic Christmas tree, becoming more tangled as he went. Suddenly, William felt a sharp yank and his wheelchair spun round on the spot. "Oh no, wait!" he screamed. He looked down and saw that the other end of the fairy lights and tinsel that were wrapped around the dinosaur had become tangled around his wheelchair. He was attached to the dinosaur. His wheelchair lurched forward as he was suddenly dragged across the living room and into the hallway. All William could do was hold on for dear life as the panicked and determined dinosaur launched full speed ahead towards the front door. "Stop! Wait!" cried William. "The front door is locked!" But that didn't matter. The Christmasaurus bowed his hard, scaly head, and in one massive bam, he burst through the door, pulling William and his wheelchair through the dinosaur-shaped hole and into the snowy street. The Christmasaurus searched the sky for Santa's sleigh as he ran. It was cloudy now and difficult to see anything, but there it was. Just for a split second, it poked through a break in the clouds, shiny and red, zooming through the sky. It must have been moonlight reflecting on the red paint of the sleigh. He gave chase, sprinting as fast as his dinosaur legs would carry him, littering the streets with broken baubles that were flying off from the strings tangled around his body. He skidded round the icy corners with William whizzing along behind him. William used the brakes on his wheelchair to avoid lampposts, parked cars, post boxes, and the occasional cat as they accelerated through the town. The Christmasaurus couldn't see the sleigh anymore. It was above the snow clouds and getting away. There was only one thing for it, thought the Christmasaurus. He was going to have to fly. He'd seen the reindeer do it 1,000,000 times. He'd spent his whole life dreaming of flying, and tonight was his night. He could feel it. He put his head down low and started a strange reindeer-like gallop. "What are you doing?" cried William, as he got a faceful of snow kicked up by the crazed dinosaur. He brushed the snow from his eyes just in time to see the Christmasaurus take a deep breath, his strides getting longer and higher, higher and longer. Then, at the side of the road, the Christmasaurus spotted some sort of ramp that was being used for roadworks. It was a perfect takeoff ramp. The Christmasaurus headed straight for the ramp and galloped up it as fast as he could, his eyes set on his target, the sky. William could not believe what he was seeing. This dinosaur is bonkers. He doesn't have wings. He isn't a reindeer. He can't fly, William thought to himself as he held on tight to the armrests of his wheelchair, too scared to let go to buckle his seatbelt. As the dinosaur reached the end of the ramp, he took an almighty leap into the air, pulling William in his wheelchair off the ground. Smash! They came crashing down in a pile of rubble, sending a mixture of dust and Christmas sparkles into the air. William only just managed to keep his chair from tipping over. They didn't fly, just as William had thought. As the glittery dust settled, the clouds parted for a moment. Just long enough for them to see the red flashing lights of an aeroplane fly overhead. It wasn't the sleigh after all. The Christmasaurus let out a sad, lost roar, and William put his arm out and gave him a comforting stroke. It was the first time he'd ever touched a dinosaur. His skin was bumpy but smooth at the same time, warm but also cool. Magical. Were you trying to fly? William asked. The Christmasaurus nodded, ashamed that he'd failed. Oh, I'm really sorry, but I don't believe dinosaurs like you can fly, William said. The Christmasaurus looked sad. Something about William's words seemed to hurt. William saw that he was upset and instinctively put his arms round the dinosaur's strong, solid neck and gave him a hug. It's okay. I know how you feel, whispered William as he gently stroked the dinosaur's head. And that was the moment that William and the Christmasaurus became friends. But the boy and the dinosaur had something else in common. They'd both just heard a noise. Someone else was in the street with them.